We are live.
Two fucking notes to start the program here as I get us kicked off YouTube. I forget that. You're not allowed to curse in the first 5 minutes on YouTube.
Have we ever listened to that?
We never have, but someday, if we're ever monetized.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it. See, I've heard people say that's a thing, but I've never seen it matter or come into effect.
I've heard people care about it, but you're right. I'm sure, I don't know. Two bears, one cave isn't thinking about it,
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. My notes are, number one, I did not hear it because I was in therapy, but I'm told that my downstairs neighbors were having some very loud, intense intercourse.
Midday too.
So that's fun. 5 p.m.
On a work day. See, I could see that happening on a weekend, but never a work day.
I told Alba she should have gone down and just said, you guys, are you guys okay?
No, it should have been you with the stick.
Are you all right, ma'am?
Is everything all right? Start swinging it.
I don't hear any noises like that from a woman, so I assume something must be wrong.
What does this mean?
And then the other fucking note is that during said therapy, the reason I couldn't hear this loud fucking was my therapist said the word fuck. He's telling some story and he said fuck you. I said fuck you or something like that. And then he laughed to himself and goes, I really like to say that word. I feel it's very appropriate because here what we're doing is that's kind of what we are saying. We're saying fuck you.
How old is this guy?
He's like 70.
Okay, because my 80-year-old grandma talks like that. She'd be like, I just really like the word shit.
Yeah, I like the word fuck. I'm like, ooh, cool.
Wow.
Well, I'm 30, so I'm not amused by that.
You're badass, dude. If you were like a substitute teacher in middle school, I would talk about you forever, but you're supposed to help me.
Yeah, that was always fun when you had a guy I don't give a fuck what you guys do. It's like, yeah. Meanwhile, that guy's probably a fucking Percocet addict,
My favorite were the people that tried to get you to do work, but we didn't, you wouldn't listen, but they didn't have the nuts to fucking actually get you in trouble.
The warthog flirted with being a teacher, a substitute teacher, and just a regular teacher at different points in his life.
Oh, kill me.
And I always said that would be the class where we're like, yeah, we got Mr. L. We don't have to do anything. Just got vodka in his thermos.
The students talk.
Yeah, whatever. Just keep it down.
The students talk more than him. Oh, here he is. Jeremy Giambi, dead. Really?
No
way.
Don't start the day like that.
At least it's not Jason, but wow.
Jeremy Giambi dead, huh? How?
I don't know.
How did it happen?
Let's see if this is real.
Don't don't come in here fucking with me about That's this rule number 2. I laid down rule number 1 yesterday. Rule number 2, if anyone's lying about Jeremy Giambi, they're banned.
I'm sorry. I was just looking this up.
I'm waiting.
Horrible news. Ken Rosenthal, it's real. Jeremy Giambi passed away today at his parents' home in Southern California, according to his agent. Jason and the family request their privacy to be wow. It had to be COVID, right?
What if Ken Rosenthal lost his mind and replied to that tweet with "not!" exclamation point?
Didn't he just get fired?
I thought where he left MLB Network. Did he get fired?
I thought so.
I can't remember.
Was he on? Jeremy was on the Red Sox for a minute, wasn't he?
He was. They brought in Kevin Millar, Jeremy Giambi, and David Ortiz to all kind of audition at first base. And someone won of the 3. I can't remember who.
Wow. That's crazy. Thanks for dropping that bomb, Warthog.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you? It's a sad day. Jason, you're going to have to carry the Giambi name from here.
I loved watching Jason Giambi hit home runs. His weird fucking swing. Looked like he was trying to... His follow-through looked like he was always trying to scratch his back with the bat.
That's a neat fun fact. Every day a new piece of the puzzle comes together. He liked watching Jason Giambi swing.
Yeah, I could watch people hit home run montages all day.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's delightful, especially berry pop.
That's how I picture you. When I picture you at home, that's what I think you're doing.
I'm in the garage hiding from the family, watching Matt's stairs hit bombs.
By the way, cannot believe I forgot to tell this story yesterday because I thought it was so funny. So last week, tell me like what level of white trash this is.
Okay.
This will be if I ever go on Are You Garbage. This will be my first.
I was going to say this is a nice warm up.
So last week, a couple friends reached out to us and said, "Hey, would you guys want to go bowling? Like, hey, just something to get out of the house." Which I'm not a big bowler, but I was like, "Yeah, what the hell? Hanging out with friends, who cares?" In fact, I had decided right before I got in there, I was like, I don't even think I'm going to bowl. Just shoot the shit. So it's already white trash. We're just at a bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
And then we walk in, and I haven't been to a lot of bowling alleys. Like, I don't know that I've ever been to like Jillian's or one of the nice places, But every bowling alley I've been to is exactly. It's as if one guy built all the bowling alleys.
Is this Candlepin or the big ball?
I think they had both there. It was definitely Candlepin, but I thought they might have had both.
Candlepin is superior.
Yeah, well, let's save that argument for another day.
I was going to say, this is literally just going to be like, no, this isn't white trash at all.
I hope that's not in the questions. I'd hate to get into that hot debate. Candlepin or regular bowling?
I love bowling.
Which, by the way, those of you in the chat, this will be a Gerald Tetra day. Ask me questions. Feel free. But first, so we walk into the bowling alley, and me and Al were the first ones there. And the parking lot's pretty packed. But we find a spot right away. And then we get in there, and we order 2 drinks. I grab a Bud Light, and she gets a Diet Pepsi.
No more seltzers, huh?
And they didn't have any.
No.
Yeah. So we sat down at one of these fucking grungy tables. It's the kind of place like I don't think they allow smoking, but I also don't think anyone was listening to that rule because it's still 1997 there.
Yeah. What's the best part about bowling? There's I think Jim Gaffigan pointed out that there's ashtrays built into the equipment.
Yeah. The only sport.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So grab a drink, sit down, and just talking for a minute. And then our friends are texting us that they can't find a spot. The parking lot's packed. And we're like, what the fuck? Because the bowling alley itself wasn't packed. It must have just been the places next door or whatever.
Yep.
And they're circling around the parking lot for a while. And eventually, like 10 minutes go by. And I was like, you guys just want to go to a restaurant, just grab dinner instead of this? And they were like, yeah, who cares, whatever. So we're there for, 10 or 15 minutes before this happens. And then me and Alba walk out. And then I realize that I said to Alba, in the minds of these workers, I walk in with a nice lady, I get a Bud Light, sit down in a bowling alley, get up and leave. We grabbed a drink at a bowling alley on a fucking Thursday or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's when you got to do the fake phone call and talk loud, like, "Oh, you can't find it."
Oh, we'll be right out. We'll definitely be back in because I didn't just come here for a beer.
I'm going to pay my bill though, just so they don't think I'm stealing.
Yeah, so that was maybe the greatest white trash move I've ever done.
Going bowling is pretty white trash.
Oh, just in general, yeah.
Going to a bowling alley just for a cold one and
not bowling
might be like ultra white trash.
Well, I hit all 3 steps because I individually wasn't going to bowl. Because I just, that's another funny thing about I should have brought this up to the therapist. In my mind, I was like, oh, I have to bowl because everyone's expecting me to. And I was like, what am I fucking, I wish I could think of a professional bowler.
Now, I've only known you for, let's say 14 months or so.
A year and change.
Yeah. I will never expect you to bowl if you're ever in a bowling alley.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That'd be really on.
Like that's how I'm wired. And then if I think of it logically, I'm like, no one would possibly give a fuck.
I mean, the likelihood of it would be a miracle if you even went down the correct lane, probably, right?
You know what my entire life is? You know when if you say you don't want lettuce and tomatoes on a burger?
Yep.
And you feel kind of judged by the waitress?
Yep.
My entire life is avoiding that feeling. Everything I do is like, well, whatever has me judged the least is the road I will take.
Oh man, the only thing I would ever ask a waitress or something. Do you not get lettuce and tomato? Is that real?
Yeah, genuinely, generally, I don't get lettuce or tomato
See,
on a
for that,
burger.
I wouldn't say anything because it's way too easy to just take it off.
Yeah.
I only say it for like sauces or something that I'm like, I don't fucking
See,
need that.
here's the thing: is I hate taking it off because then it's like you still have the remnants of the, I want the burger as is, as it was prepared.
I forever hated tomatoes up until very recently, and
Hate tomatoes.
they're slowly growing on me.
Hmm.
I-
They're
uh,
too. I'm a big texture guy, and
Yeah,
they're too, juicy.
if it's a thin cut tomato, I'm all about it. The big fatties, they can go, screw. You know what I mean? Go for a
By the way, this
walk.
is how you can tell we don't have much today.
I think this is interesting.
We're talking tomato, tomato thickness.
Chat's popping.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Mike is paying too much for therapy. That's what we're here for.
That's not a bad point. Because
Yeah.
now it's only every other Wednesday. I should just on the other Wednesdays just check in with you guys.
$1 beers on Tuesday nights. Bowling alley.
Oh God, where's that?
Uh, I think the people are just making jokes. Bowling alleys always have good deals on pitchers. That's true. Or
Is that
buckets.
right?
Yeah. So there's a bowling alley near my cottage up north, and we'll go once maybe every 5 years. And every time we go, we spend like $2 on beers, and everyone's hammered. And we're like, why don't we come here more often? And
Sounds
then
like a
we
lot of
just,
fun.
well, yeah, but then you're like, it's a bowling alley. I'd rather like sit at a fire or something.
Um, did you see? Speaking of white trash, did you see what Chappelle did?
Yep, I saw the tweet as I was sitting down.
I guess he attended a town meeting, if I'm to understand correctly, which seems like. Imagine Dave Chappelle walks into your fucking town council meeting.
I would hate to be whoever he was against.
It's like, well, here goes the next 3 hours of our lives.
He's
Just does
just
a
like,
set about race.
he's in a middle school smoking. Get this point across.
That's a brittle spirit, man.
Let me tell you something, neighbors. I don't.
It is kind of funny. Like I don't give a fuck, and you kind of know exactly who the people are that are probably attacking Chappelle for this.
Mhm.
But it is kind of funny to be this guy. Like he's all about equality and all of that. Bringing up the little guy, and then he's like, "No, not in my backyard."
I mean, you'll take any one of those fucks too. Like, say you have a house. Like right now, if I looked out my backyard and they just decided to cut down all the trees that give me privacy to put up buildings with people I don't want near me.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
got
of course, I agree with him 100%. Like
yeah,
I wouldn't. I probably qualify as some of the type of people that would be living in that type of housing, and I wouldn't want me back there.
right. I wouldn't want to be near rich people. I just feel bad about the car I drive. Just
Sorry, Dave. Whatever, man. I can only do old Chappelle.
I know I can't. I can't. I don't even want to try the new one. I can't do it. Can't do it.
So I sent you Ziggy Robinson sent me that video I sent you
Hmm.
right before the show. Ziggy, and he said it reminded him of what's her name? God damn it, Wendy Williams.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember we played that a few months ago.
Oh yeah, we played a couple.
This is not quite as brutal, but it is similar. So I guess some former American Idol contestant got into some hot water, shall we say?
Yep, that's a great way to put it.
And then Billy Blanks Jr. is reporting on this for some reason.
That's who.
You know who that is?
No.
Billy Blanks is like the workout. One of the. I think it might be the
Oh,
Tybo guy or something like that.
yeah. I don't know. Is it Tybo? I know who it is.
It's
though.
one of those things.
Let's find
And
out.
his kid was on Shark Tank, and I remember it was like an emotional episode because they were like, well, "Why doesn't your father just help you out with this?" And he's like, "I don't speak to my father."
Oh Jesus!
And then
It
Damon had an emotional moment with him.
is. It is Tybo.
Yeah, I thought so. So Billy Blanks, for some reason, is reporting on this American Idol story. And I don't know. Tell me if you notice anything odd about his style of reporting.
He was driving under the influence and his car struck a workshop in the 200 block of West Murph Road, just 3 miles south of Pacolet. Fire chief for the Pacolet, South Carolina station told Hollywood Life that the victim inside the workshop, 54-year-old Larry Dwayne Paris, was taken to the hospital and later died from the injuries he sustained. At this time, Caleb remains behind bars. If he's tried as an adult, he could face up to 25 years in prison. Sending support to the family of Larry Dwayne Paris. A DUI at 12:42 p.m. Ugh. Sad day for American Idol fans. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments below.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, brother.
Oh my God. If I was the family of the guy killed and I saw them go, sad day for American Idol fans. Ugh.
Among others.
Like, yeah, my kid's dead, you piece of shit.
I really like the, rest in peace to the great Bob Saget. I like the Bob Saget AFV style of reporting. You're like, zoinks! That's gotta hurt.
Or Chris Berman. Here's going down the road. Whoop! Right to the garage.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Slipping, slapping, sliding.
So Billy Blanks Jr. holding up that family's... No wonder his father abandoned him, you know? With that kind of attitude.
At least he appears to have done his dad's Tae Bo. Guy's in great shape.
Oh, is he good? Very good.
Yeah.
I think the thing he was pitching on Shark Tank was a workout, some type of workout equipment, if I remember correctly.
In his pitch, did he say it was in his blood?
I wish I could remember. I'd love to say yes to you, but I can't remember for sure.
Workout equipment is in my blood.
It's odd to go in there and be like, I don't want to use my dad's name, but my dad is Billy Blanks, as I am Billy Blanks Jr.
Be like Billy Mays, his kid. He's going to pitch some cleaning product.
I remember people were like, maybe because we were young, like I'm sure no adults were shocked by this, but like when Billy Mays died, people were like, "You believe he was on coke, like he OD'd?" And I was like, "Yeah, you've seen him, right?"
Very much so. I assumed he was the whole time.
I figured he would die like that.
If you told me
in Florida, no less.
If you told me that's just how he was, I would have been like, really? No substances.
So thank you, Billy Blanks. I want him on every story.
Definitely.
Ugh.
Yeah,
he's like the fucking Kathy cartoons.
Real sad.
A vehicular manslaughter.
Paris was taken to the hospital and later died from the injuries he sustained. At this time, Caleb remains behind bars. If he's tried as an adult, he could face up to 25 years in prison. Sending support to the family of Larry Dwayne Paris. A DUI at 12:42 p.m. Ugh. Sad day.
WTF.
It wasn't even close to natural either.
And I like that. I think he's ugging the time. He's like, imagine being up that late. Ugh, having to get up for work the next morning.
See, there's the problem though. Your ugh right there was way more natural. He just went ugh.
Ugh.
You sounded like you had some passion behind it at least. Say ugh emotionally into camera.
That's how, listen, local news. You want some eyeballs back on your program. You throw the kitchen sink at Wendy Williams and Billy Blanks Jr. to bring us the local news every night.
That'd be great. I want a fart compilation. I need a video of Wendy Williams farting followed by that guy saying ugh. I need her farting going, and him going ugh. Disgusting.
In other news, we learned minutes before the show. Craig sent me this New York Post article. So I've only read the headline. I saw it literally minutes before we started. I've only seen the headline. And then I know two things about it. I know the headline, and then I know the first thing I've heard about it is Craig saying, actually, this guy's pretty smart.
That's not what I said.
Now, Craig, take it away. Tell us about this story.
Let me pull it up on the screen so people can see it here. Definitely didn't say this guy was smart, for sure. Did not.
Craig said, I like the cut of this guy's jib.
Yep. Nope. Didn't do that. Oh, I hate this. But by the way, Washington football team should have stuck.
The Commanders.
Oh, I was it you that was talking about how that sounds more racist than anything?
It sounds
like-
way more racist. And I don't know why, but it does.
Commanders, Jonathan Allen wants to have dinner with Hitler. He's a
Don't
military
we all? Get in line, pal.
he's a military genius.
He's not wrong
I was gonna
about
say,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Spot the lie.
He's not wrong. You can't sue the man for slander.
No. So what this guy did, there he is, by the way, if you want to put a face to the name, people. He's captain too.
Captain. Craig, I like that Craig respects his rank.
I mean, we're talking ranks right now, aren't we? I mean, it's literally the subject. We're talking ranks.
Sure.
Someone said you can have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive. Who are you inviting? Jonathan Allen says my granddad, Hitler, and Michael Jackson.
I gotta say, bad news from old Jacko. I don't know if he's making it out of that dinner.
No. That person then responded and said 2 of the 3 I understand. But
I gotta say, I don't understand the third either.
no. But Hitler's such a name that you're like, why would you even speak it?
I like that the guy says, my grandfather, a pedophile, and Hitler. And this guy responds, I get 2 of those. But why your grandfather?
And then he said, he's a military genius, and I love military tactics. That part I'm like, who gives a fuck? But this next part, I would want to know the answer to. And is what I was talking about.
What's it like to rip the life of a Jew?
But honestly, I'd want to pick his brain as to why he did what he did.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give him that.
And that's what I was referring to. Not, hey, got any tips? Like nothing like that.
What if you did? So what if somehow this, technology was available, and you have Hitler over for dinner to pick his brain, and his answer is just like, he lacked self-confidence. I don't know. I was working through some stuff.
You ever been in school and you got bullied and you just hated everyone that even remotely resembled that person?
Yeah, he's like, I was just really good at that.
He since deleted his tweet referencing Hitler and apologized. He wrote, early I tweeted something that probably hurt people and I apologize for what I said. I didn't express properly what I was trying to say and I realized it was dumb. It is dumb to bring up Hitler, but I think trying to pick his brain, and if you could ask him why he did what he did, that's not that crazy.
That's an interesting angle of it. But I'll say, and I know you'll hate this because you can't see past the person saying it, but I thought Trevor Noah had one good point in his little rant.
Was it Tim Dillon's?
Was it they was ripping off Tim Dillon? Yeah. No, but he said like I understand the discussion and everything, but you're putting yourself in a position to be called racist by saying the N-word. So I would, take that point of view and say, just stay away from answering Hitler to these questions.
Leave him out of it. Never bring
You
him.
have to know it's going to be taken wrong.
You can never ask about Hitler, ever.
You're not going to be, no one's going to go, oh, interesting.
Wow.
I too would like to have dinner with him.
You know what? Hitler was misunderstood.
Oh, I'm glad we have that one. PGA Minahan, I want that one. I don't just want that tweeted out. I want that. You have some that you save and tweet out often? Come on. You got to put that in the tickler file.
No, I need context or else I'm just getting Rogan.
No. Give him what he deserves.
I need the before and after that quote or else this is unfair bullshit.
Now, so you do it like me, and you say the guy had his pros and cons, but no one knows who I'm talking about.
Heavy on the cons.
Yeah.
I know I said his name. Fuck, stupid.
Well, so those are fun. Who? What's the guy's name that said that?
PGA. Remember, we're friends. We're not, but we could be. Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan Allen. Well, a Hall of Famer in the. He's up there with Whoopi Goldberg in mentioning the Holocaust. All right. So should we get into some questions?
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to address right off the bat. because I saw people like Lieutenant Kirk trying to make a mockery of this program,
Yes.
which I said I wouldn't stand for. But now we've gotten to the point, you hacks that listen to this show. I guess you take after your leader of the gearheads here. You're all unoriginal, but we've now spent more time talking about how often we talk about Rogan than we have actually talked about Rogan.
Yeah, and usually when we talk about Rogan, we actually talk about the shit around him and talk about other people in regards to him.
But we spend way more time talking about how we don't talk about him that much.
Very true.
So keep those out. Get that trash out of my house.
I'll throw you out of here.
Yeah. Now, but kidding aside, I have to say how much I love the Gearheads. Patreon.com/blindmike. If you want to become one, because I literally called one of them a pedophile last night, and no hard feelings were had. You know, that's a group I respect.
That was a very funny comment. Yours was funny, but him going, I mean, I paid and I was called a pedophile.
Yeah, I pay a man who calls me a pedophile.
I enjoyed it.
No, Steve's grandma, all of you are good people. So patreon.com/blindmike. Who knows how much longer these episodes will be free?
Mm.
And the $1 tier will go away eventually. So if you want to join the chat, you'll be a $1 member for life if you get in now. 2 months free if you subscribe for a year at any tier. You get Why Are You Laughing a week early at the $10 level, all that fun stuff. So go to patreon.com/blindmike. And one more brief thing on this topic is I can't believe we spent yesterday talking about how, everyone I've heard, whether they're being phony or not, when they bring up that Planet of the Apes joke, has said how horrible it is. Like, I can't even imagine making it. Like, put it in context, I understand, but it's horrible. And then I don't know how I forgot this, but I forget that I'm doing a podcast with a guy who probably made that joke on his podcast last week.
Never.
Go to the Very Good Show archives. I'm sure you could find that type of humor.
I avoid that type of humor.
So go listen to Very Good Show as well. Give them a 5-star review and all that, huh?
Please, let's get us to 100 reviews.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
So what do we have for questions?
So I guess because he's a pedophile, we'll start with, or because we call him a pedophile.
Now it's just fact. Now we've decided it's true.
We'll start with Steve's grandma.
Okay.
If Craig big times you with Studio 550, who's on the short list to replace him?
I think that would be little timing me, but very clearly it would be Matt from Rhode Island. I would think would be next in line.
I would assume.
I'm sure Justin would be willing to help out, although he's got his own things going on.
Yep.
And then that'd be about it. That's one of the reasons I like having Craig around is it's very hard to find someone that would enjoy talking about the shit I like to talk about and can also just make sure this podcast gets up,
Yeah,
and has a fairly open schedule.
Once I'm which I think is gonna actually be starting full time there in the next couple weeks.
Ooh.
I think, give or take a couple weeks possibly. But once that happens, I already talked to Bruce, and we might be able to record earlier or whatever. He's very flexible and cool with everything.
That's very exciting. Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce, you're the man, dude.
So you won't be. I saw that a few times. You won't be leaving this program.
I said the last time that this came up that I'm not fucking leaving unless I'm fired.
Yeah. Make it very clear, folks. When he's gone, it'll be my choice.
Right.
It will be my doing. You understand?
Steve's grandma again. You've mentioned a couple times on KMS recently that Blind Mike Project doesn't have advertisers. What are you doing or not doing to get advertisers? Are you opposed to signing on? Dude, is that really, you really got to ask that? The first time he went on KMS to promote this, he was begging you not to listen.
That's a good point. I said, nobody listen.
Please don't pay me to do this.
To answer your question, I've done virtually nothing. 2 tours reached out to me. I think we have enough listeners now where I could start going to like Blue Chew or those places that advertise on every podcast, right?
Yep.
I just don't know how to do that,
Me either. I gotta talk to Cullinane. He knows.
Yeah, so we could figure it out. But no, your answer is I've done nothing, which I should do because like the Patreon has been a big help, but I guess in order to pay these schmucks, I should start getting some advertising in, you know? Although here's the other thing. The reason I haven't really cared. I don't know how much of a difference the amount of money we would get makes, you know, on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I'd have to look up the what I would have to look up research.
Where we fit.
Yeah, how much
Yeah.
an ad goes for however many. I know it's up against however many downloads times.
Put it
whatever.
this way, I don't think it's a life-changing amount, which is
Mm.
why I haven't been particularly obsessed with it.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
What's next?
Um,
I like these question days. The gearheads have good questions generally.
Justin said I reached out to Blue Chew on behalf of Blind Mike Project, and they said
did?
yes. They said yes, and then ghosted me.
See, that's the level, and that was very early on, and that's been my mentality. Like, I think that's the level I'm at, where they're like, "Okay, I guess."
Killer wants to sponsor a month.
Who does?
Killer Kowalski.
Thank you, sir.
Vic Visco, aka Booler, wants to know: would you accept a job at Barstool again?
No.
Really?
No. I like doing Kirk's show, and maybe that makes me hypocritical or I'm rationalizing it incorrectly.
Yes.
But when I left, a small part of the reason was like they don't want me there. Like Portnoy's made it very clear he doesn't want me there. No one at the company particularly likes me or has any interest in me. So it was like, why am I working at a place that doesn't want me? And then I started to change that recently where I was like, maybe if they asked if I wanted like a full-time position or something, maybe that would have changed. But then like when I heard Portnoy the other day, I was like, all right, fuck it. Like that hasn't changed. So
See, I thought that was. I mean, I thought he was obviously. I thought that was like one of the best compliments he gave you, as shitty as it sounded at the beginning.
what, that he can scream at me and I'm all right with it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm also not totally all right with it.
fact. But
You know, like I think one of the other questions was like, do Portnoy's comments about you bother you? And they, like, not as much as they used to, or at least I'm better at handling it or whatever. But it's like, yeah, you don't want, you know, I think there's a difference between like fucking around, which I think it was when I was an intern.
Mhm.
Like, everyone brings up like the wallet to the face, but that was genuinely in good. Like, it seems very mean, but I think that was in good fun. Like, literally, there's video right after that where he's like laughing and apologizing to me, and he's like, "We love Blind Mike," all that shit.
Yeah,
So I think that was in good spirits. Whereas it's at some point it turned like very angry, and
it
that's
almost
where I was like, "Oh, I'm just like I'm not in on the joke as much." So I didn't love that, you know.
it almost seems like he thinks you did something that you didn't, and have no idea what he's talking about.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I
But
did something. I'll tell you, I know what it is. Like everyone had like, what is it? There's not a thing that happened. He doesn't like me as a guy. He doesn't like the cut of my jib. He doesn't get my sarcasm. He thinks I'm taking shots at him at times where I'm just fucking around on a podcast or whatever. Like he just doesn't like me as a guy, which
he,
neither do I. So I get it.
he got like Deke Zuckered on a bunch of shit you said, which I think was the main crux.
Right.
And every time you talk to him, he's on the fucking phone, so he can't hear your comments.
There's part of that, and then there's part of like, I think he also remembers he never liked my writing or anything. Like he's always he's never thought I was particularly talented. So I think when he pairs that with not liking my personality, then he's like, "What? I have no use for this guy."
Yeah, I don't know. He seemed like he seemed like he went out of his way to give you a Dave Portnoy compliment.
His version of a compliment.
Yeah, which goes a long way. Of all the people he thought of, he went to you, who doesn't
Yeah.
even fucking work there.
Yeah, I'm not saying like no, I wouldn't dare accept. I'm just saying I'd probably not, just because they wouldn't want me there. You know what I mean? So I don't even like to think like, yeah, someday. Like I
But
just don't think it would.
I don't
make
think
sense.
I don't think he means like what you were making before. Like you make here's a fucking I can live on this, like more than live on this. benefits.
And they just offer me that, then maybe, yeah. But I
That's
don't
what
think that's going to happen.
I think it could.
Yeah.
I think it could. I think
How about this? Probably not, but who knows? The door is always ajar.
'cause once you're working there, like I would like to see you.
Well, here's the other thing. They would never hire me. I would not move to New York to work there, and they would have no interest in like a podcast of mine. So it would essentially be,
Why are you
well, I
laughing?
want a full-time job on Kirk's show, which is the only place they would want me. And my answer is like, I'd rather just do what I'm doing.
They might off. The only thing they could maybe this program kind of it would be more suited for radio, I think. But why you're laughing, I think is
Yeah, but he wouldn't, like, Portnoy would never get it. He wouldn't even know what the fuck I was doing,
He
and
hired
would listen with a biased ear, I think.
he hired Florentine and threw him in the basement.
There
like,
you go.
like,
And he
but-
likes Florentine.
yeah, I think he does like you. He's meanest to the people he likes the most.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree. But
You guys will be cuddling.
good question, though.
Cuddling before you know it. Will there? Yes. Will there ever be a Why You Laughing About Mike Birbiglia? What are your thoughts on his comedy? Definitely.
Mike Birbiglia, you say definitely?
Yeah.
Why definitely?
Oh, I love his story. I like the Sleepwalk with Me is one of my favorite movies. About
Yeah, I like Birbiglia. I wouldn't have thought of him as a definitely.
Oh, really?
I also wouldn't have thought of you as someone to say definitely to that question, but that's neither here nor there.
I think he's very creative.
No, yeah, I'd have to look more into him, I guess. I liked him when I was a kid and then kind of drifted away from him. And then I haven't heard much from him. I know he made that movie a couple years ago about improv and all that. But I don't hear from him much anymore.
Well, I will say this: we're gonna run out of like the home run hitters of topics. So
I don't think that's true. So, that was another question. Someone said, like, are you going to run out of Why Are You Laughing episodes eventually? Not for a long time, I don't think.
Oh no, I don't think we're gonna run out, but I mean, we're gonna get to a point when, you know,
Oh, I mean, we'll definitely do guys like that.
yeah.
For sure. Birbiglia didn't come to my mind. So the answer is not for a while, but I'm sure eventually we'll look at him.
In 2024, there will be a Mike Birbiglia episode.
Someone else asked about the Kings of Comedy. Would we ever do Kings of Comedy? And I've thought about them multiple times. My only question is, should we do them separately? Like, should we do a Steve Harvey episode, or should we a Bernie Mac episode, or should we do all four at once?
Both.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Each person's individual career you could do, and then you could just do the impact of those specials.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Justin said, "Oh wow, Craig's the director of Why You Laughing Now."
Yeah, I didn't care for that. Oh, of course, guys. Let me take you through the list of people we'll do.
Sorry, I forgot. I'll go back to my hole. Bring in at a theater near me, Chris for Birbiglia.
Was he a big Birbiglia guy?
It's from the Warthog. They are best friends, so they would know.
He would know. Yeah, only the Warthog would know. Chris will be on episodes in the future, I think. Fairly soon.
Of
Why are you laughing?
Oh, gotcha. Are you asking Alba to marry you at Skankfest?
I should.
That would be great. We gonna do a Sanford and Sons? Why are you laughing?
Definitely, or at least a Red Fox episode, yeah.
I think Red Fox would be great.
The problem with Sanford and Son, we did a Norman Lear episode, and will eventually do an All in the Family episode. So it's like, how many Norman Lear shows are we gonna do? You know?
Yeah, we already covered the juice around it.
But Red Fox, I think, is a pretty interesting guy.
Yeah. Oh, Chris hates Birbiglia.
Oh boy. You know, that's how fucking, I can't even say the word these two are together. Where like they have little inside jokes and the Warthog expects us all to know. Oh, don't you know he hates Birbiglia? He gets him so riled up. Oh, it's so cute.
Hey, Warthog, are you the big or little spoon? We need to know.
How the fuck would I know he hates Birbiglia? Why would I know that?
He says it so matter of fact. Well, obviously.
That's like, you know, when you have a crush on a girl in like 5th grade and you kind of shoehorn her name into conversation.
Yes.
You're like, oh, that's just like something Nicole said. It was so funny. It's like, what? We weren't even talking about that.
It's also how you test the waters with the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are they gonna tell me she's a bitch?
Right. Yeah, right. You get a gauge on her.
Justin wrote, quote, best buddy or butt buddies.
Yeah.
That's the safe way to say it, I guess.
It's frankly a disgusting display, those two.
Hog is a power bottom.
Given his build, I could see that, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Those thighs generate a lot of power.
Yeah.
um has has Craig changed in the past couple weeks due to this Jerry news? It seems like his shit don't stink no more.
1 second. I'll get to that in a moment because I agree with you, commenter.
What the
But
fuck?
I love one of my favorite themes in Always Sunny is how much they care about who would be like a power bottom versus a.
Yeah, this is
Well, I generate most of my power.
yeah, the sincerity in which they're talking about it.
And Dennis's knowledge of gay sex.
Yes.
So what
I
was the
just
question? Has Craig been smug the last few weeks? I thought so.
that was not the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard it.
Has Craig changed in the past couple weeks due to the Jerry news?
He walks with a little extra strut in his step,
I
you
don't
know?
know.
And the real thing is I think he gets off on turning Jerry down. Like, pal, I'm a little
Oh.
too big for you now.
Literally the complete opposite.
You had your cute little radio show back in God knows when, the 30s, whenever you were on the air. But now
the
it's Craig's time to shine.
opposite, god damn it. What was the most fun episode of KMS you've been on?
Most fun. Interesting.
I mean, Death of Steve Robinson, right?
I guess that was kind of a fun day. But no, I don't think of it as the most fun because it was uncomfortable for a little while.
Oh, that was such a fucking funny episode.
I'm trying to think of the biggest laughs I've had. And just recently, like, Mr. Scoopage is one of the biggest laughs I've had.
Yep.
Justin's Chick-fil-A hack.
Yeah.
When we were talking about him trying to like pretend he's a little boy.
Yeah. Justin,
Can I have an ice cream?
every time Justin was called for, he'd be like, "What's up?" It just made me laugh so much.
That was one. I'm sure if I had time to think about it, I'm sure there's a better answer. Like I'm sure there's something I'm missing. But any of those like huge laughs I've had where I've been crying, the Moroso voicemail,
Yeah.
like anytime you've heard me crying laughing, those are the
It's
most
not
fun.
it's not funniest episode. It's most fun you've had.
Most fun I've had. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that's when I'm having the most fun. Is when I'm in tears laughing.
Yeah.
Not in tears for other reasons.
You've had them all.
You know what? That Portnoy episode was kind of fun the other day.
Oh, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Plenty
Plenty of contenders, I would say.
This is a weird question. Sorry for judging you, but I'm gonna.
All right.
How many times have you ridden in a Cadillac? Hundreds? Thousands?
I actually bought a Cadillac for my father, and he sold it to Jack Klompus, who drove it into a swamp.
You bought your dad a Cadillac?
Yeah. Twice, actually. I bought it, and then he sold it to this guy, Jack Klompus, and then I had to buy it back from Jack Klompus, so I ended up dumping a shit ton of money on it.
Isn't that a fucking Seinfeld episode?
Certainly is, yes.
Are you too young to have The Simpsons be a large part of your TV viewing and development of your humor?
I'm not too young, it just wasn't really.
Yeah,
I don't think I got it when I was a kid. I was like it was too smart for me.
Yeah.
Because when I watch it now, here's the thing. I think this perfectly describes my level of intelligence. When I was a child, I thought I was too smart for The Simpsons. And now as an adult, I realize I was too dumb for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were subtleties to The Simpsons that I just didn't grasp as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was born in 91. So like in its heyday, I was definitely too young. But a lot of people my age watch it,
So you might have similar thing that happened with me is like The Simpsons were there and you'd watch, like my dad would watch it.
Exactly. Yep.
And I would see it, and as I started to get into it, all of a sudden Family Guy was out, and I thought that was way funnier.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah, I think my generation was probably a little more Family Guy than The Simpsons.
And South Park kicks the shit out of both.
True. Yeah. Oh, and I mean, I loved Family Guy so much, and I know I've said this 1,000 times, but South Park destroyed Family Guy for me.
Yes.
Like I could never watch the same again after the Family Guy episodes of South Park.
Yeah, no, it was too spot on, way too
Yeah,
spot
they
on.
did. They broke it down too perfectly.
I did enjoy the Family Guy Simpsons crossover episodes.
Yeah, they were okay. I mean, they don't stand out to me as like great or anything, but they were fun.
I enjoyed those, but South Park every episode is great.
Yeah, like when I hear a Simpsons joke now, a Simpsons reference now, I'm like, wow, that is brilliantly funny. But I just
Oh,
never
right,
watched it when it was in its prime, and I'll probably never go to it now. You know?
right, exactly. You hear that?
What?
Is your phone going off or something?
No, why?
Because I'm getting like phone static through your mic.
No.
Um,
Still happen?
yeah,
Oh,
stop, stop.
huh?
It stopped.
Okay, good.
Parentheses for the regulars in the chat from Chef Lewis. Do you think if the DNC packs the Supreme Court, abortion laws will be passed universally across the United States and mass mandates being lifted to raise the approval rate of our national and local government?
You know, for those of you listening to the free episode, the chat has been made a mockery of by some of these people. They think it's a place to go for Supreme Court talk. They don't listen to me when I say that's not what it's here for.
It's not. Definitely not. I don't want to read this question. That's mean.
What?
It's a guy who's not here.
Huh?
Ted Sarandis has a question
Okay.
about someone who's not here who respected Ted when he wasn't here. I'll just say.
Let's hear it. Well, this is my answer, not Ted's answer. Let me hear it.
How much longer is the Make-A-Wish commitment allowing Mike VGS to appear on Why You Laughing?
You know what I like about that is the idea of a young man involved in the Make-A-Wish Foundation saying, "I'd really like to be on a podcast that doesn't exist yet, that like a handful of people will listen to. That's my wish before I die." I'll say this: I enjoy having all four gentlemen in, but if you put a gun to my head, this will surprise Craig. I think if you put a gun to my head, if tomorrow Matt from Rhode Island moves a chair out of the room and says, "Yeah, there are only enough chairs for 3 boys," I think it's me, Craig, and Matt. I hate to say.
Oh, really? I thought you were just gonna kick me out.
No. I think if you made me pick 3, although I do enjoy Mike's input.
Yeah, he also does break it up so it's not just literally like very serious.
Yeah. I'd say my only gripe with Mike is the laughing at times. Other than that, I have no issues with him.
And I told you, it's almost like I've been doing a show with him for a while.
Yeah. But I hate criticizing him for that because people have given me shit for the same thing. People hate my laugh.
I don't care if he laughs. I want him to just move away from the mic if he's just gonna
True.
scream
Yes.
laugh.
Yeah, that is
Especially when fucking clips are playing.
right. I agree. Yes.
And he just goes, oh, by the way, you want to have something fun? Mike, I love you to death. But not you. I'm not talking to you right now. Mike Harris, love you to death.
Yeah, I understood it. You didn't need to.
Your laugh sounds like Joaquin Phoenix Joker's laugh.
You think so?
Go listen. He goes like, like I can't do it, but you'll notice
I'll have
it.
to listen to both.
You'll have to
We'll
notice
do it. We'll do our research. As Jim Calhoun once said, I'll get some facts and come back and see you.
But yes, that's facts. Facts.
All right.
Sports. How long would it take each of you to run a mile? Craig, what is the best part of your golf game? Short game.
I could walk one in 20 minutes. So I don't know, 10, 15. Not very quick.
I could do 1 mile and die. I'd probably be about 8.5 minutes.
Oh, good.
Best part of my golf game is my driving or chipping.
I don't care.
I'm just reading the questions. We have to respect the chat.
Move on.
Craig, what sports, if any, did you play in high school? Baseball, basketball, football. Mike, what sport do you wish you had been able to play in high school?
Baseball. I mean, I played basketball when I was a kid.
Would you just move it along? Jesus. I'm sorry.
Whose show is this? You know what? We gotta have to go back a couple of questions.
I did that.
Has Craig become smug in the last couple of weeks? I would say certainly.
Have to point out again, that was never a question.
Has Craig become a real jackass over time? I would say, to answer your question, commenter, yes, he has.
What sport do you wish you had been able to play in high school for real?
Baseball, I'd say probably. That's what I liked the most as a kid.
Baseball is great. It's one of the funnest things to play and like one of the worst things to watch.
Yeah, and I would always go to my brother's games and shit like that. Like it was a real torture to be around as much baseball as I was.
Oh, here's that question. How many episodes of Why You Laughing do you plan to do? Do you think there are enough ideas to run it for a couple years? Definitely.
Couple years for sure, but I do wonder. I do always think like, oh, well, eventually we'll run out of shit, right? Because I like doing it and everything, but I don't know if it's something that could last forever, But I enjoy doing it. So
I think we'd have to get like 4 years in to really be like, fuck, what do we talk
yeah, right. Yeah, it won't be for a long time that we'll be like out of ideas.
And I don't even know, because then you can just branch off on so many things. Like,
yeah, and we'll do like I already know we'll do multiple episodes on Norm,
multiple on Patrice,
multiple on like Stern and that world, O&A and that world. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show. You could do multiple episodes on a lot of those.
That was all the Patreon questions. I have to move to the Twitter.
All right. Well, how are we for time here? How long have we been going?
50.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So let's get some Twitter questions in. And folks, if you want to join the chat and be one of these rapscallions here, go to patreon.com/blindmike. Don't you forget it.
Do I have to respect all these?
No.
Okay. Sorry, Killer. I'm not reading that. Let's see. Super Bowl picks. Rams -4.5 and total 48.5. Also, would you guys ever consider doing a show on the issue of Joe Rogan and cancel? Fuck you, Ted. I was reading it for real and he fucking duped me.
He snuck it in.
He did. That was kind of funny.
What was it? What's the spread of that Rams game?
Rams -4.5 and the total 48.5. I think over for sure.
I'm going Bengals in the over.
I want the Bengals. See, I'm gonna like if either team wins, I'll be cool with it because I like Joe Burrow, but I just
like Matt Stafford. It'd be nice for him to win one.
I love the story of Matt Stafford leaving Detroit and winning a Super Bowl first
immediately.
Immediately.
Is it, by the way, does it feel like a Super Bowl week to you?
Well, no.
Like maybe it's just selfishly the Patriots aren't in it, so I'm not paying as much attention. But like, it doesn't feel like the Super Bowl is in 4 days or whatever.
How much cable television do you watch?
Virtually none.
Yep, and the Patriots aren't in it, so it's like
you're
not watching anything. Because if we put on ESPN right now, they're probably doing those interviews or whatever the fuck. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah, right. All right.
You know what I mean?
I just feel like the chatter in the street. I can keep my ear to the ground. I got my finger on the pulse of the nation.
Rank your top 3 producers for the Jerry Callahan show.
Like from my perspective?
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, wait, does this mean the top 3 that have done it?
I think.
Or like in a dream scenario, who would I get to produce it now?
What is dream producers? Did I not say that out loud?
Oh, dream producers. Okay.
Oh, that's way different question.
Yeah, I would say Steve Robinson.
Definitely.
Boy.
Buck Sexton.
Just to hear him say Buck Sexton.
Wow, you're so great.
John Dennis, number 2.
Shit.
I'm trying to think of a big liberal Jerry could battle with.
Reamer.
Yeah, but he likes Reamer. Like, who would annoy the shit out of him? Tom Hartman.
Oh, Rachel Maddow or something?
Yeah. That'd be fun. No, but Steve Robinson would be the number 1 choice because I'd love to hear Steve, the condescending tone he gave to me. I think he would give a version of that to Jerry.
Yeah.
Which I would really enjoy.
Oh, he definitely would. And I think over time it would piss Jerry off to the point that it would end up being a huge fight.
Why do you always talk to me like that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Power rank the top 5 forms of cancer.
Oh boy. Well, number 1's got to be brain. Pancreatic.
Oh, brain cancer is not number 1. Really?
Isn't that the worst?
I thought pancreatic cancer was the number 1 like killer.
But I thought brain cancer like was a certainty of death.
I thought
And pancreatic, there was a chance. Or am I wrong about? Maybe I have those backwards.
maybe blood cancer is pretty brutal.
All right, you know what? I'll move pancreatic up to number 1.
Oh wow, lab rat.
What?
With the link. Bob Saget cause of death.
What do we got?
Brain bleed after hitting his head.
Oh no, that's terrible.
That sucks.
Oh God, poor bastard. He suffered.
How? Of course, this comes out right before the "Why You Laughing" episode.
Where I probably said a bunch of times, like, we don't know how it happened.
Yeah. He hit his head on something. We're told the authorities don't know what the object he hit, possibly the headboard, but there was an obvious bruise on the back of his head. Was he murdered?
No. Who would murder Bob Saget?
Joey Gladstone.
I think he uses his name is Dave Coulier.
I know. Authorities believe Bob did not know the severity of the injury until and got under. So he wasn't. Fuck, that sucks.
That's too bad.
That sucks. I almost wish it was a heart attack now.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? He's dead now. You can't feel it now. So
yeah.
Now back to. Oh, fine. I'll move pancreatic cancer up to number 1.
Yeah.
Brain cancer 2.
Brain 2, blood or bone cancer?
I would say colon, throat, lung after that.
I'd go colon, blood, bone.
Interesting. I see. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about my cancers, you know?
Colon's a big one. Lung cancer, I feel like almost everyone, obviously not, so anyone that this is affecting in this, but I feel like a lot of people get surgery on lung cancer and can get past it.
Was it Gene Siskel or Roger Ebert that they had to remove their jaw? Was that like jaw cancer or throat cancer or something?
It was the movie guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking you which one. They're both movie guys.
The Ebert and Roper.
I can't believe
Ebert and Roper guy?
I wish we weren't at the end of the show. I said Siskel and Ebert, and Craig goes, "It's the movie guy."
I was thinking Ebert.
I gave you the 2 most famous options of movie guys.
Now let's be clear. My whole job for the last 40 minutes has been to read. So when I'm looking up the next one, you know what I mean? It was Roper, the Ebert and Roper, that guy. The one from
Roger Ebert.
Roger Ebert.
Okay.
Roger, let's see.
What did he have? Because that seems brutal.
Illness, I'll just say.
I figured.
Ebert was diagnosed with cancer of the thyroid and salivary glands.
Yeah, whatever that is doesn't seem fun.
Oof.
Because if they can remove your jaw for something, I don't want that one.
He's got like a weird, creepy, permanent smile.
Now, Visionless Dave, I bet you weren't expecting it to be taken that seriously, were you? Wise guy. You come into my house with cancer rankings, I'll give them to you.
We got stats. Mike, your favorite Chinese food? This caused
that was from Justin Trudell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then this turned into like a whole thing with him and Ziggy.
I mean, if I'm ordering Chinese, I go General Tso's.
Me too.
Side of crab rangoons.
Me too.
I don't mind the what are they called? Pancake things. The
scallion pancakes.
Scallion pancakes. Yeah, those are not bad.
I don't care about those. I like Peking raviolis though. Those I fuck with.
Not familiar.
They're like I don't even fucking know how to describe them. Those little Peking raviolis or dumplings. They're called both. It's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, dumplings are all right too.
Let's see. Can you invite Carano on to share his thoughts on the Quantum Week breakup?
No, not until he's a friend of the Kirk Minahan show again. I'm a KMS guy till I die. So until that relationship is patched up, if it ever is, I cannot do it.
Doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon.
I don't. It doesn't seem like it. No.
From Chucky Meacham. Am I crazy for getting irrationally angrily listening to At a Theater Near Me? The unemployed, childless man constantly complains about how difficult this quote project is, and he chose to do it.
He chose to do it part is funny. But yes, I think you are rationally angry. I think it's an enjoyable podcast for movie buffs.
I got irrationally angry at that show one time,
As did I.
and it was not for the Reese's Pieces thing.
Okay.
Mine was when he was going over his budget, and when he didn't count like the dinners and everything when he was on the trip.
Oh,
And
you had the same thing?
yeah, but so when he said that, like I understand his logic for not counting the dinner he was going to eat anyway. Sure,
Right.
but you boarded up your fucking dog. You did all this shit to go to the movies. That should count.
Oh, he didn't count the boarding of the dog?
No.
Oh, he's got to do that. That I don't agree with. But I don't think the dinner should count, but I agree with you. The dog thing should count.
Yeah, and that was the one time I was like, "Come on!" He's like, "I just count the gas in the movies," and I'm like, "No."
I don't know. Anything else good as far as the questions go?
Walk us through your day after you interviewed for Barstool.
The day I interviewed? Actually, it is kind of an interesting thing because I had to. My stepdad Kev drove me from Westfield. I was living in Westfield at the time, and he drove me from Westfield to Milton. I went in. I walked in and went upstairs to Portnoy's office, and he said, "Do you have your resume?" And I said, "Ah, fuck." I said, "Can I go grab it?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And I had to wait there, and I had to go back outside and grab it. And mind you, they're all laughing. They think I'm like fucked up or something because I move as a blind man would before his cane. Mind you, this is years before I actually addressed my issues. So I kicked the air conditioners, has famously been mentioned and everything. And then I went back up, and I could tell it was not going well because I think Gaz picked out my resume.
Yep.
Because I mentioned college radio. And then Gaz, in my interview, trying to help me out, was like, yeah, he could probably help us bring back like the Power Hour that they used to do
Mm-hmm.
and like produce it for us. And I said, oh, well, I didn't produce my radio show.
I was.
He goes, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that.
Well, that's the truest thing ever, because I think Hank famously was like, "Yeah, I know how to do all this shit," when he didn't know how to even hold a camera.
Yeah. So then I threw out I was like, yeah, by the way, like I don't know if this is a thing you'd enjoy mocking or whatever, but I'm legally blind. And then the video came out that you saw. But then we drive back to Westfield, and like as I walk into my home and my stepdad leaves, I get a message from Portnoy. The Brady ruling came down, the Brady suspension for Deflategate. And I get a message from Portnoy and said, "Hey, buddy." Called me buddy back then, I think.
Yeah.
He goes, "We're going to New York."
Wait. This is the same day?
The exact same day.
No fucking way.
I swear to God. Well, because you saw the video I made where I went to headquarters, right?
Yeah.
It was 2 days later, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So he invited me that day, and I was like, I can't. He's like, "Can you come with us? We're leaving like right now." And I said, "I can't. I'm in Western Mass. I don't drive, obviously, so I have no way to get back." And he's like, "It's all good. No worries." And then they went, obviously. And so it ruined my, my friends were, they saw the video because they put it up right away and everything. So they were like congratulating me, thought it was hilarious. And the whole time I was like, I just fucked this up. There's no way I got it. And then the Warthog suggested, he's like, wouldn't it be funny if you just showed up in New York like 2 days later? And I was like, actually, that would be funny. So we just did that.
Man, you'd be like a millionaire right now if you went on that trip.
Probably, yeah.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. Who knows how the tides would have turned?
I don't know. How long until Craig is too big for Blind Mike Project? Shut up, Stacy's phone.
Like the Craig reads that, like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I can't believe these. I can't believe that one slipped in.
Best way to eat cum?
I mean, with a knife and fork. What does that mean?
Well, you famously
You
done.
put it in your mouth.
What is your vision? 2200. Wow.
20. I believe this changes all the time. By the way, I've gotten a lot of different numbers, but I believe it's 2350 in one eye and 2450 in the other eye.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for those of you, for the layman out there, that means things that are 20 feet away look 350 feet away, and in the other eye, they look 450 feet away.
Does Stool Presidente's comments and digs really bother you? As I
We
feel
answered that
they
already,
do?
kind of.
And he shows more respect to your blind loyalty to him. No pun. Yeah, we did. Have you thought about using the Patreon big bucks to recruit Carano or Steve Robinson?
I can't afford to pay the guy I have now. I don't think. See, I believe Steve was making over $100,000 a year, so I don't think I can afford him.
I am not making that.
Nor am I. So how I would pay him is baffling.
Who at Barstool get a lot of credit for being funny, but isn't at all, and you can't pick Nick Tarani? I think he's funny.
Oh, I mean, I think Nick is funny. I find there's something I really like about Nick, like the way he talks. I enjoy.
Yes, me too. I think he's fun. I think I like him more than KB, if that's controversial.
I mean, my obvious answer is Tommy.
I was just gonna say him.
I don't get it. Like, I don't get the observational humor, and I don't get the appeal. But that's just me.
Mush, I
like Marty Mush.
I like him, but he doesn't like make me like grab my abs laughing.
He's made me laugh a few times. Like, he refers to his penis as a rat and things like that. Like, I enjoy. He makes me laugh once in a while.
Okay, so maybe that's probably part of it. Is he refers to everything as a rat? There's a rat line. His dick's a rat. Like that thing over there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So like everything, it gets old.
I see. All right.
Tommy's probably the answer.
Yeah, that's my. I mean, it's certainly my answer.
Has to be Tommy. How hard are you right now?
Rock.
Do you
any of the good ones? Let's end on a good one here.
All right. Original Kings of Comedy. We answered that. How do you ensure? Okay, this is a pretty good one. How do you ensure? How do you ensure you've cleaned up all the evidence after jerking off?
Well, I've told this before, but I used to. I don't any longer. I used to wrap myself in a sheet. One of the sheets that goes on the bed with the elastic. Have you not heard this before?
I don't think so, but that seems excessive.
I would like wrap myself in it and wrap it in a way that I could just put my dick in them, like kind of fold it around my dick, basically. So I had a sheet all around me that I could just jerk off on.
Just 360-degree angles.
Yeah, but as a man with a live-in girlfriend, it's become more difficult to hide that sort of a sheet.
Why are you doing that sheet again?
Yeah, right.
Why do you own 20?
You don't need to wash the sheets this much. And why do you keep it in a drawer?
Why do you own 20 of these?
So now the answer is I don't want to give away my theory, but because who knows who may be listening to this. But I have a receptacle. Don't worry.
It'd be funny if she's like, I'm gonna check in and see how this show's going.
All right, that's a good one to end on, unless there's a better one.
One thing you would change about Kirk?
No, not doing that. Nothing.
Yeah, that's a good spot, probably.
All right. Patreon.com/Blind Mike is where you can find this program. If when we talk about topical shit like we did earlier on, if it ever feels dated to you and you think, well, this came out a few days ago, why are they talking about this now? Join the live chat, for Christ's sake, on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. $5 and $10 tiers get you access to everything else. Why are you laughing a week early there on Patreon? Go to the store, buy some merch, and go listen to a very good show.
Yeah, do that. That'd be great.
All right. And that's it.
Until then, have yourself a great day. And as always, Rock on.